The Nigerian Medical Association, the umbrella body for doctors in the country, has issued a 21-day notice of a total and indefinite strike over the federal government's alleged failure to address its long-standing demands. The association, in a communique released after an emergency delegates meeting held on July 26 of this year in Abuja, expressed deep disappointment over the protracted negotiations with the government on issues affecting doctors' welfare across the country. Well, the communique signed by NMA President Bala Audu, as well as Secretary General Dr. Jamin Egbo, cites several unresolved issues, including the suspension rather than withdrawal of a recent circular by the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission, which the association had opposed. For more on the impending doctors' strike across Nigeria, Dr. Oshakum Michael Anenga, the Vice President, Nigerian Medical Association, joins me now from Makadi, Benue State. Thank you so much for joining us on the news tonight.
Thank you very much for having me.
Great. And let me just begin by asking you, because we understand that there was a meeting with government officials resulting in an MOU. However, your members overwhelmingly rejected it in an emergency session. Why was that so?
Well, we had negotiations with the government. We had our team, the National Technical Negotiating Team. We interfaced with government on a number of issues that we raised. You know, we broke into a technical session, tried to agree on some things, but, you know, some of the, agreements did not have clear and acceptable timelines. So when we took this back to our members, they were not satisfied because, government, we've been in negotiation with government, we've been hearing a lot of promises. Some of the areas that we're pursuing, for 18 months, back in December, we're told it's going to be paid. So many, unfulfilled promises. And this MOU, even though government said they will keep to it, we didn't see that urgency to address the issues that were presented. That is why the members said, no, we can't continue like this. And we decided to give a 21-day strike notice.
So you accuse the government of recycled promises, but isn't that because the demands are also recycled? Are there any new demands?
No, we have long-standing demands. We have agreements with government that date back to 2001. We have collective bargaining agreements of 2009, 2014, So we have these long-standing issues that are yet to be addressed. Of course, there are new issues, but we have very long-standing issues that we've had promises upon promises. Last year, when salaries were secularized by the National Salaries, Income and Wages, we noted a lot of errors in their, the consequential adjustments, and we noted those errors and we wrote to them months on the 27th that did not address any of the errors. Rather, even something that was supposed to increase salaries, it was just shambolic, and it was the straw that broke the camel's back. Of course, there were so many issues, but with that kind of underlined government's insensitivity, I would call it, because if you look at the indices of the health indices and the indices of doctors in this country, the doctors leaving, the Japa syndrome, you'll be alarmed. Our members are under tremendous pressure. They are doing the workload of, twice the workload that they ought to take. We are doing a lot, and we need government to look at, the welfare of doctors in this country. So that was the height of it. So we sat and looked at, our relationship with government, and we said, no, we can't continue like this, because if we sit and fold our arms and, remain within the four corners of the hospital, the system will collapse. That is why we are calling on government. Remember that we had given a 21-day, ultimatum to government, which expired. Government didn't call us until a day or so before the expiry date.
Okay.
Now we've given a 21-day strike notice.
All right, Doctor, can you confirm to us if negotiations are still ongoing? I mean, the government eventually came to the table. You signed an MOU. Unfortunately, your members didn't accept it. But are there ongoing negotiations in this new, fresh 21-day ultimatum?
Well, of course, we acknowledge that government is in talks with us. We expect more concrete engagements. Our team is going to arrive Abuja. It's in Abuja, but we're mobilizing more to be in Abuja tomorrow. We expect more engagement with government because these 21 days cannot be taken for granted. In fact, it was a struggle to get 21 days before the strike because members wanted to down to immediately. But doctors are not naturally inclined to strike because we look at the suffering of Nigerians. We see how the economy is hard on them. Healthcare is difficult for them to access. So we looked at the country generally, looked at the suffering masses and decided that, no, let's give government 21 days. So we hope that government will utilize these 21 days effectively. Else, the healthcare sector will shut down.
Okay, to be fair to you, we haven't seen the NMA go on strike in a long time. We have seen the resident doctors under NAD go on strike, but not the umbrella NMA. Let me ask you, what are some of the other demands that are non-negotiable for you to call off this strike should, the government come to the table tomorrow? You tell us about a meeting tomorrow. We'll be watching that space. But what are your non-negotiable demands that must be adhered to?
If you look at our demands, about 18 or 19 of them, all of them are low-hanging fruits. I will tell you, we did not expect government to drag their feet over these demands.
Oh, it does look like we've lost connection with our guests. Okay, Dr. Anenga, we lost you for a bit. Very quickly, your non-negotiable demands.
Okay. Yeah, so we demand immediate correction of that circular. Of course, our team has done our mathematics, done our calculations, and we know the figures that we ought to get. And we urge government to immediately correct and release the corrected circular. We have areas that are, the 25-35% wage award, accoutrement allowance, clinical duty allowances, 7 months arrears that are due for the last 18 months. It will surprise you to know that the president of this country, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, actually signed and approved those demands. We don't know why they have not been paid till date. We've been patient. We've been using diplomacy all this while. It hasn't yielded any fruits. We have, the collective bargaining agreement that we have with government is supposed to be reviewed every 5 years. It's been over 10 years since the last one was reviewed. We expect that the government will set up a collective bargaining agreement committee immediately to look into some of the new demands that we're bringing on the table. We have, our hospitals are not properly run. Our hospitals are supposed to have boards that oversee them. I will tell you that it's been years now since the new administration came in. Those boards are not functional.
Okay.
There are a lot of problems that should be addressed at the local board level. They have to take them to the ministry. It's chaotic.
Okay.
We expect that the boards of federal institutions should be formed so that our hospitals be running properly.
Okay, Doctor.
We have a number of other demands,
Yeah, I mean, you did say there are 18 on the
so
list.
like I told you, all of them are low-hanging fruits. They can be achieved in 21 days.
All right, we do expect a follow-up after that meeting with the government tomorrow. You say it's holding in Abuja. Dr. Ushakum Michael Anenga.
I told you our team is coming to Abuja.
Okay. Is the Vice President of the Nigerian Medical Association. He joined us from Makadi in Benue State.